es que ISIL es un grupo terrorista que va a seguir batallando contra nuestros intereses, matando.
Ella dijo ISIL, no ISIS. ISIL no incluye a Israel. Ella está hablando del grupo que Obama está hablando. Voy a oírlo otra vez, para que esté clarito. Sí.
La verdad es que ISIL es un grupo terrorista que va a seguir batallando contra nuestros intereses, matando. La verdad es que ISIL es un grupo terrorista que va a seguir batallando contra nuestros intereses, matando.
Pinecrest journalist murdered by terrorist. South Florida native killed after kidnapping a year ago. U.S. Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, chairman of the Middle East and North Africa Subcommittee, says the pain the family of murdered South Florida journalist Steve Sala feels is felt by many. I cannot imagine coping with the pain Shirley and Art must be feeling right now as they lose a son due to a savage terrorist organization, and my heart and prayers go out to their entire family. Ros-Lehtinen continued, "This atrocious and brutal act shows that ISIL's cruelty knows no bounds and that it has no respect for human life. ISIL is a global terrorist group that espouses an ideology that poses a grave threat to regional security as well as U.S. national security interests both at home and abroad."
Immigration reform, you guys in the House weren't able to do anything. The Republicans didn't do anything on immigration reform before you went on this 5-week break. The crisis on the border continues. You were only one of a handful of Republicans that voted against removing DACA. What is the solution there? Because it seems as though many of you in Congress talk, but the proof is in the pudding, and there's not very good pudding on immigration reform.
That's true, but there wasn't very good pudding for the Democrats when the Democrats controlled the White House, the House, and the Senate for 2 years. The president said he was going to make immigration reform a reality, and he did nothing.
It's not 2014.
But right now, what we can do, we're going to be passing an immigration bill, thanks to your brother, Mario Diaz-Balart, who's founded on conservative principles, where no one jumps over anybody else who's been in line, where we're able to get people right with the law.
But when is that going to happen?
Mario and Paul Ryan and good leaders are working every day toward that, and we hope that it will happen.
What is it going to take? I mean, how long can you work on something while this crisis
the Dreamers, because I think that the Dreamers have been a positive impact for our community. They are as American as apple pie. They don't have the papers, obviously, and so this lets them get right with the law and let them be part of the armed forces and contribute to society and be students. That's a good thing for us.
Florida Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, thank you so much for being with us. More now on this morning's breaking news. U.S. airstrikes over Iraq less than 12 hours after the president announced military authorization. The target, ISIS terrorists attempting to slaughter a religious sect called the Yazidi. Congresswoman, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Jose. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's talk about this bombing that happened just a little while ago, your reaction to it.
Well, I support the president. I think this is long overdue. The Iraqi leaders have been calling for the U.S. to act to help them as their fight against this terrorist group that is, as you said, to the right of Al Qaeda, and they want to slaughter Christians, any religious minority that is not, and they've been doing it, putting their heads on a stick, and it threatens our neighbors and our U.S. national security interests in Jordan and all of the neighbors. So we're worried about ISIL's march toward world domination. They want to establish this caliphate, this Islamic State, and we've got to take action. So it's a humanitarian mission and limited airstrikes. I think too limited.
Well, está pendiente de todos estos temas. Iliana, primero, congresista, comencemos hablando de su reacción al mensaje del presidente. ¿La convenció?
Sí, yo creo que no tenía que oír el discurso del presidente. Lo que me ha convencido es lo que está haciendo ISIL, destruyendo países, matando cristianos, decapitaron a periodistas. Uno de ellos, un periodista de mi distrito en Miami.
On the Middle East. You want the U.S. Congresswoman to start airstrikes against the ISIS terrorists?
Absolutely. The Iraqis have been begging for this for 3 months now. This is an administration that is disinterested, aloof, distant. They make leading from behind sound like a dynamic military strategy. We hope that we would be leading from behind. We're dragging from behind. We have Christians who are being wiped out because they will not convert to Islam. And the picture is very clear. We could have a positive effect in this humanitarian crisis. Not that issue, not that one thing that we do will make a difference, but put together limited airstrikes, drones, these humanitarian airdrops. All of this could help not just this ancient religious community, but what about the Christians? They're going to be slaughtered, and we've seen evidence of this. ISIS will not rest until they establish this caliphate and they rule throughout the Middle East. This could very well destabilize our partner, our ally, Jordan, and all of the neighboring areas. So the U.S. has a national security interest at stake. I hope that the president acts. If he wants to come to Congress and ask for support, he should do so. I think that he will get it. But if he pictures this as a humanitarian crisis, then I say, where was he in Syria? Many of us were supporting the president when he said we were going to do limited airstrikes in Syria, and then he pulled the rug from under us and said, nope, we're not going to do anything. Well, now we've got ISIL taken over in Iraq. It's time for the U.S. to stand up and use our military might in its limited way to help this humanitarian crisis.
Are you with the president when he says no boots, U.S. boots on the ground?
I think that the American public is very strong about that. We pulled out of Iraq in a very bad way, and I hope we don't do that in Afghanistan. I hope that we learn the lessons of just pulling out and leaving this void of leadership. So we can't afford to do that in Afghanistan. Let's learn the lessons from Iraq. No boots on the ground, but there is so much more that we can do, Wolf. We're seeing this crisis unfold. They've been begging for us to get involved, and this aloof administration is nowhere to be found. We have been hearing about how this imminent airstrikes is going to happen any moment now. You could dust off our talking points from our foreign affairs from months ago, and that's what the administration has been seeing. Well, let's do it.
One quick question. Where is the Iraqi military? For a decade, the U.S. trained several 100,000 Iraqi forces, helped them build an army, an air force. Where are they? Because they are doing nothing, and so much of the military hardware the U.S. left behind is now in the hands of ISIS. This whole government of Nuri al-Maliki, that military, they ran away as soon as a few ISIS terrorists threatened them.
Well, there's no doubt about it. We left a lot of military hardware there, and not to mention millions of dollars that is also there now to be used by ISIL. We have this failed leader in Maliki. We need to find a way to constitutionally get rid of him and have a better government where the people will respond. They are waiting for that sound of a certain trumpet, and al-Maliki is in cahoots with Iran and a lot of our bad actors and is not helping the Iraqis defend themselves adequately from ISIL. But at least on this topic, he's been begging us for help.
This is certainly not what President Bush envisaged when he ordered troops to go into Iraq in March of 2003 and get rid of Saddam Hussein. This is certainly not what President Obama envisaged at the end of 2012 when he fully withdrew all U.S. forces from Iraq, although a lot of people always believed this was inevitable, given the tensions that have been going on for hundreds of years between all of the ethnic groups in Iraq. Congresswoman, will continue this conversation.